It's important, one, to know the legislative process, and let me tell you why. In order to create action, you have to have knowledge in order to translate it into power. So if you know how the process works, knowing the committee structures, knowing the governmental process and how things become state statutes and laws, then you're able to be a part of that process. You have to talk the lingo.
We've been, shut down for so many years, or we've just been shut down generally, and that we don't think we have a voice, that we don't think we need to speak up, or that we need to say something. But we do, and it's hard to kind of, say something without having the fear of being shut down.
We are the future, and we have to realize that our parents aren't going to be the ones running the country whenever we come of age, and that we're going to be the ones stepping up and taking these spots, and we're going to be 18 soon. We'll be able to vote, and so I feel like this is where we need to be.
It's important for you guys to get up there and to talk about what's going on in your lives. So that's what we're going to talk about today. It's an attempt to get a legislator to support the same position that you support. So maybe on let's see, the lottery scholarship. Maybe we are going to go up there and advocate that the lottery scholarship needs more money. So your job as a lobbyist, as a community activist, as somebody who's there doing legislative advocacy is to get the legislator that you're talking to support the position of increasing money for the lottery scholarship. Make sense? Lobbying is also about forming partnerships. It's about forming those relationships with your legislators. It's about making friends with their staff. It's about all those relationships so that when you do go ask them to vote a certain way, when you do go ask them to put a certain bill or a piece of legislation on the table, they're more likely to support you. They're more likely to do the things that you ask because you have that personal relationship. I've been coining this term Lobby 365 because how many days a year are there? 365? Unless it's a leap year. It's important for us to be thinking about lobbying or advocacy, legislative advocacy 365 days a year. That's how we form sustainable partnerships. That's how we get legislation passed, and that's how we change our communities. Because we have to be thinking about it every day. We have to be doing it every day. We have 3 branches of government here in New Mexico. The executive branch with the governor and the lieutenant governor, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch with the 2 houses. So we have the state senate and we have the House of Representatives. In each of those branches, and mostly the executive and the legislative branch, there's people there that we can talk to, that we can try to influence their policy-making decisions. In each house of the legislative branch, in the Senate and the House of Representatives, there's a committee structure. The bills need to go through a process. They need to be deliberated. They need to be thought about. They need to be talked about. This is a chance for community members to go in and give comment and talk about bills, talk about why an issue is important to them and their community. If we don't have a whole lot of time, if we are really, because we're community members, we got a lot going on. We don't have time to go up to the legislature every day. We don't have time to, or the resources to be up there. We're not getting paid to be up there, right? So we don't have a whole lot of time. Who are we going to focus on? We're going to focus on the Senate Finance Committee because any piece of legislation, for the most part, any piece of legislation that goes to the governor's desk must go through the Senate Finance Committee. These are some of the most influential people in the legislature because they're the ones that decide where a piece of legislation goes. So what we talk about when we go up to the legislature is the issues that we talk about are important, and the way that we do that is extremely important in how we're going to be able to get these folks to support our message.
I learned that it's important to have a voice for our legislature. I mean, a lot of times youth think that we don't have a voice, that we don't have any voice to talk and say what we think is important in this community. But in reality, they do want to hear it because they're not there. They're not there to see what we're going through, what issues coincide in our communities.
We have to remember, we're in their workplace. The Roundhouse is it's an office building. These people work there every day for either 30 or 60 days a year. So it's important for us to act professionally, to use professional decorum. So when we're thinking about messaging, it's important that we keep our messages on point, that we really think about the words that we use and the amount of time that takes. For us as community activists, it's important that we use positive messages. It's important that we aren't really being very negative because in our experience in organizing for over 10 years with the Youth Alliance, is that positive messages do better. That when we get negative, it's a lot harder for people to support the positions that we support.
I'm Jerry Ortiz Pino. My real name is Gerald, but everybody has always called me Jerry, so I just go by that now. And I'm a state senator in Albuquerque.
My name is Kelly Fajardo. I represent District 7 down in Palencia County. It's a pretty big district, very rural, and it represents the land all the way up into the Bosque Farms, up into the Meadow Lake area.
It's crucial that young people not hold back. They don't even have to be voters because the decisions we make affect 15 and 16-year-olds as much as 25 and 55-year-olds.
You know, it's one of those, I hate to say it's like, ooh, they're young people are our future, but it's true. You know, we keep saying it every year. And it generally happens, you know, young people don't get involved until they're a little bit older. And then they're looking back and going, you know, look how far we've come and it's too hard to fix. The earlier they get involved, the better they can be in charge of their future.
I would say there's a real simple rule for how to get our attention. First off, right away, without any background, what you want. We really want you to change the graduation requirements. Then back up and tell us why it's so important for you. They affect us because of this. And then say, if you have any questions about it, let me know. Do you understand why we're so concerned about it? And can we answer any of your questions for you? 3 steps, bang, bang, bang.
Let me know that I represent you. That's important for me. You know, I represent the entire state, but I am going to listen to you if you're in my district more than I'll listen to somebody else, just because I'm going to stand up for you. Sometimes during the session we get these long history of why this is bad, and it's just too much. All I want to know is, how does this apply to you personally? How does this affect your life, and what is this going to do to you? Tell me that, and then tell me what you want me to do. Probably one of the hardest times is during the session.
I think it's best not to wait until we're in Santa Fe, because things are so crazy and so hectic at that time that it's very difficult to sit down and have a real discussion.
You know, we're there for 60 days or 30 days. We have so much going on. We're being bombarded, you know, minute by minute. So it's real hard for us to hear what's going on, you know, to just kind of be quiet and listen to what's going on.
The very best time, I would say, is now, in between sessions, when we've got a little more time, when we can sit back and listen to what you say, and then promise to do some research into it, and then to get back in touch with you and let you know what we've found out. And then maybe together we shape a piece of legislation that would actually get through.
Especially for young people, if they don't know who their representative is, they need to find out. And they need to call them, take them out for coffee, take them out for, you know, go to one of their meetings that they're having in the community, their town halls. Those are the times to talk to your representative. You know, like I said, during this session, it's very, very hard. Call your county clerk. Yeah, you can call your county clerk or you can call your Secretary of State's office and just give them your address.
There is a website called nmlegis.gov, nmlegis.gov, and that's the state legislature's website.
You can check the legislative website, then our contact information is on there.
Click on committees, and then you go to whether they're standing or interim. Standing are the ones that happen during the session. Interim are the ones that happen in between. It'll say upcoming meetings, it'll give you the agendas, it'll give you where it's located. All of that's available right on there.
So we're going to do a thing called an elevator speech. There's been some research that says that you have about 18 seconds to get somebody's attention. When you are talking to somebody, they're probably looking at you in the eyes, but when their eyes drop after 18 seconds, that means you've lost them. So you have 18 seconds to get their attention, to say your name, to talk about your organization, to tell your story, and to ask them to do something, and hopefully catch their attention to have a longer conversation.
What a beautiful, lovely day it is.
Excuse me. Okay, well, I'm with my name is Keith Pedro. I'm with the New Mexico Youth Alliance Group, and what we're trying to do is get funding and grants for New Mexico youth groups for reservations or anywhere around the state. So I'm just asking for your vote to pass House Bill number 24. So a lot of youth are looking up for your vote and depending on you.
All right, thank you, young man. Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Representative Pedro, hi, my name is Aridney Thomas. I'm from Clovis, New Mexico, where we're currently spread out, and we're looking to bring the youth together. So I would just like for you to vote yes on this next bill about the youth so we can get encouraged and get our youth in the government and involved early. Thank you for your time.
You can, and some of the things that we do is we create a little document or a notepad or a postcard that's blank on the back that you can write your message, and you can leave a message for your legislator at their office. And that's why it's important to be able to construct a short little statement or sentence like New Mexico's kids are counting on us to write that down.
I think the most interesting thing I heard today was about being able to take notes down to the sergeant at arms and having them be able to give them to the senators or representatives, and then them coming off and talking to you. And that's a really key thing for people to know, and how to get in and out in the government, and just giving the tools to young people so that they know how to behave and how to present themselves.
So, dear Mr. Honorable Speaker W. Ken Martinez, hello, my name is Keith Pedro. I am 17. I am a senior in high school at the Laguna Acma. I am a currently new member to the New Mexico Youth Alliance, but I have also been involved with other youth groups similar to NMYA.
My name is Kateri Doss. I live in Albuquerque and I work at GASP, Gun Access and Suicide Prevention, and I am a part of New Mexico Youth Alliance. GASP is a nonprofit organization that focuses on suicide prevention. As a member, I have the opportunity to meet many people who have told me about survival stories, and I have met people who are reaching out for help. I am passionate about helping people find help and save someone's lives. I'm asking you for support on this organization and support developing more organizations. I know we help a lot, but there are still youth that aren't getting reached. Sincerely, Terry Dodd.
My name is Xavier Thompson, and I'm an 8th grader at Wilson Middle School. I enjoy politics and learning about it most of the time. I'm in Youth Alliance. As a member, I would like to make a change in my community in the future. This program can also assist me in my interaction skills. This is my first year, but I expect to be coming more often in years to come. My school is in a bad area of Albuquerque. There are a handful of bad influences, and most of my friends have been subjects of them.
My name is Sabrina Morales. I am in the Anthony Teen Advisory Council and New Mexico Youth Alliance. I live in Anthony, New Mexico. I go to the Early College High School. I also represent the youth in your district. I have been currently working in the Anthony Teen Advisory Council. We have identified specific health issues and community issues. Specifically, Anthony lacks safe space for its youth. The Anthony business community needs to attract more youth-friendly businesses.
Dear Senator Carlos R. Cisneros, my name is Kayleen Hawkins. I am in the 8th grade at Pawtucket Valley Middle School. I am 13 years old and I am a member of the New Mexico Youth Alliance and Oasis of Peace youth group. One example that the youth group does is we have a blanket drive. Also, we have collected over 500 blankets to help people during the cold winter. Another example is when we go Christmas caroling at the Senior Center in Espanola. I am asking for your support to build a homeless shelter in Espanola because we don't have any community centers besides the Stroke Center. I've had the opportunity to participate in Soup Kitchen, Blanket Drive, and Christmas caroling, and much more activities. Sincerely, Keelan Hopkins.